Hey guys, welcome or welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing my eyebrow routine with you. So I'm going to be going over how I groom and shape and then also fill in my brows. I feel like eyebrows are something that really change the look of your face and how your makeup turns out. I just think it makes a really big difference. So it is something that I'm kind of picky about and I try to keep up with it. Let's go ahead and get into the tutorial, I guess. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with. I know the light is kind of bright, so my face probably looks a little bit overexposed. Hopefully you'll still be able to see the details and everything. I do have lighter eyebrows compared to my natural hair color. I'm gonna start with just some shaping. I've kind of just been letting them go because I knew I wanted to do this video, even though it doesn't look like it because like I said, they're pretty light and they're not super full. Like I've never had very full eyebrows, and so I haven't had to do too much to keep up with them. But I have kind of been going for a different shape lately, so it takes a little bit more grooming. And then also I've been using a brow serum and I feel like that has made them grow. More hairs have been coming in. So I start with plucking, but I'm very careful with this because I don't want to overdo it. And I'm just getting the little hairs that are completely out of the range of where I want my eyebrows. And then I also like to make sure they're not too long on the ends. I don't want them super short, but I do like a little bit more of a straight look versus them coming down a long ways because they do naturally grow pretty far down to like here. But right now it's not too bad. Anyways, I'm rambling, so I'm just gonna kind of start in the areas where I feel like it's a little bit untamed. And then for some reason, kind of here on the end, I feel like I have a lot of unnecessary hair there that makes it look a little bit thicker. So I'll kind of try to thin that out a little bit. I want it to kind of come to more of a point. And then I'll just go a little bit in the center too, because obviously I get some little fine hairs in the middle. And then I don't do much like towards the front as far as plucking because obviously I don't want them to start too far back. That's like my biggest fear. I definitely made that mistake when I was younger and it's not a good look. And then from here, the only other thing I do is actually trim the front top because I get like really long hairs there. It's going to be hard to tell on camera. But especially in pictures, you can tell, or like when I do my makeup, especially once I put a brow gel in, so it like the color catches onto every little hair, then they look a little bit long and it's just kind of an odd mismatch. So I'll just brush them like straight up just in the front. I don't trim the rest because they're already too thin as it is. So I have my little trimming scissors here. I make sure to be very careful because I do not want to overdo this. So that's the first side, and I will show you guys how I fill them in too. Okay, so recently I've been using the Lawless brow products for like the filling in and the color. I do really love the e.l.f. Wow Brow. That's like my favorite tinted brow gel, but I don't have that right now. I also like the Lawless Creamy Brow Wax, so this is what I'm going to use. And then also the Lawless Brow Pencil. Sometimes I don't use a brow pencil if I'm like in a hurry. It really just depends. I do feel like, especially the e.l.f. Wow Brow has little fibers in it, and so it makes my eyebrows look thicker, and sometimes that's enough. But I do want to show you guys what I do with my brow pencil because I feel like it gives me the best results. And also, just a side note, in the past I used to tint my eyebrows at home and I definitely have been wanting to do that again, but I don't have the right stuff for it. I'll link some stuff in the description box in case that's something that you want to consider doing. I definitely want to start doing that again because like I said, my eyebrows are just so light compared to my natural hair. I don't like that it doesn't match when I don't have makeup on, so that's definitely something I want to start doing again. Starting with this brow pencil though, my main concern and focus with this is this spot kind of in the center of my brows where my arch is. In the past, I feel like I've trimmed that a little too much. So if I lay it flat, there's just not really much there. I kind of have to brush up to give the appearance of an arch. This side, I have a little bit more of a natural arch, but still it's just not great. So I'll kind of go in those areas and just brush it down so I can see what I'm doing and kind of create like a natural arch. I'm not focusing too much on doing very specific hair-like strokes there, just because I'm gonna brush those hairs up anyway, so it'll kind of cover where I filled in, and hopefully it'll just look thicker, but it won't look like I drawed it on because I'll brush the brows over that spot. I actually said in my last vlog that I did, and I do feel like it is making a difference to use a brow serum, because that center part for a bit there was actually like there was hardly any brow hairs there. It was just like a bald spot almost. It was not great. So I feel like the brow serum did help to fill in that center a little bit more, because that was my fault. I kind of trimmed it a little bit much because I had these long hairs that were just unruly and I couldn't get them to lay flat. Then I'll take the tinted brow wax and make sure I get enough on my brush. Oops, that might have been too much. And you can see this is what makes the biggest difference in my brows personally, because they're so light that once I put on a tinted brow gel and it grips to every hair, it makes it look so much thicker. Yes, I don't have super thick brows, but the main issue is how light they are. So it looks like they're not there. Looks like I have half the amount of hairs than what I actually have. And I do like my brows to be a little bit fluffy, like not crazy, but I don't want them to be, you know, completely perfect, like Instagram 2015 brows, if you know what I mean. And this brow always just looks a little bit more clean, I guess, than this side. This side always looks fluffier just because it is. I don't know. But I like them both. I just don't love that they're kind of different from each other, but it's okay. So that is what we have. I will say some days if I want my brows to really last, like if I'm going out or if I just feel like they're not staying the way I want them to, I'll sometimes go in with like a clear brow gel. I've been using the NYX brow glue. I will be honest, it's not like my favorite. It is a little bit thick and you have to be careful with it, but it does hold them in place pretty well when I actually get it applied correctly. So this is what I'll use sometimes over these other products if I really want them to stay in place. But I'm not going to worry about it today because I feel like they're doing pretty well, and you know, I just groomed them, so I think it'll be fine. I will say I really want to try the Rare Beauty clear brow gel. It has such good reviews. Everyone loves that one, and I think I would really like that. So let me know if you've tried that and your thoughts on it. I definitely want like a good clear brow gel that sets everything down but isn't too expensive and also doesn't feel like glue on my brows. So I think that's definitely the one I want to try next. That's going to be it for my eyebrow routine. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video or found it helpful. Let me know what else you want to see from me. Like I said, I'd love if you would consider subscribing if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Lost in the night, can't get caught up. Really doing everything I ever thought of.